Let's begin with the fundamental idea of the AR-15. It's a semi-automatic rifle. This is a crucial term, and it means that one single pull of the trigger results in one single shot being fired. After that shot, the rifle automatically performs all the necessary steps to get itself ready for the next one. This means the person shooting it doesn't have to manually work any levers or bolts between each round. All of that action happens internally, powered by the energy of the shot itself. So, to really understand how it operates, let's visualize what happens the very moment the shooter pulls the trigger. Deep inside the rifle, the trigger's movement releases a small, internal part called a hammer. This hammer strikes the back of the cartridge, which is sitting in the chamber. Specifically, it hits a tiny, sensitive component on the cartridge, called the primer. That small impact on the primer creates a spark, which instantly ignites the gunpowder packed inside the cartridge case. As that gunpowder burns, it does so incredibly quickly, creating a massive volume of hot gas in a fraction of a second. This gas expands with immense force. With nowhere else to go, this expanding gas pushes the bullet forward with incredible speed, sending it down the barrel and out of the muzzle toward the target. That's the bang part of the process. But while the bullet is traveling down the barrel, something else very clever is happening. Not all of the gas just follows the bullet out. A small amount of that hot high-pressure gas is diverted through a tiny hole, or port, located partway down the barrel. This gas is then channeled into a thin tube that runs back toward the rifle's internal moving parts, located in what's called the upper receiver. This redirected gas pressure is the secret sauce sits, what powers the rifle's automatic cycling action, essentially making the rifle prepare itself for the next shot. As this gas travels back through the system, it pushes against a key set of components called the bolt carrier group. Of this group is the engine of the rifle. The gas pressure forces this entire group to move backward, away from the chamber. As it moves back, it carries the now empty cartridge casing with it. This spent casing is then ejected out of a port on the side of the rifle. You've probably seen this in movies, the little brass cases flying out with each shot. As the bolt carrier group continues its journey backward, it compresses a large spring, known as the buffer spring, which is housed in the rear stock portion of the rifle. Once the moving parts have traveled as far back as they can go, that compressed spring immediately does its job. It expands, pushing the entire bolt carrier group forward again, back toward the chamber. As this internal mechanism travels forward under the spring's power, it performs another critical task. It strips a fresh, new cartridge from the top of the magazine, pushes it forward, and slides it directly into the chamber. The mechanism then locks securely in place, sealing the chamber. At this point, the rifle is fully reloaded and ready to fire again. The only thing needed is another pull of the trigger. All of this extracting the old casing, ejecting it, feeding a new round. And locking the action happens incredibly quickly, much faster than the human eye can track. It's a seamless, continuous cycle that repeats with every single trigger pull. One of the reasons the AR-15 platform became so popular is that this cycling process is designed to be relatively smooth. The rifle's layout keeps these moving parts in a straight line directly behind the barrel. This inline design helps to manage the recoil, which is the backward push you feel when firing. Instead of the rifle wanting to flip upwards, the recoil feels more like a straight push back into the shoulder. Shooters often describe this as a manageable and predictable recoil, which makes the rifle easier to control and shoot accurately. Now, something else that really sets the AR-15 apart is its famous modular design. The rifle is essentially built in two main halves, the upper receiver and the lower receiver. The upper receiver contains the barrel and the bolt carrier group, while the lower receiver houses the trigger mechanism, the magazine well, and the stock. These two halves can be separated very easily by just pushing out two small pins. No special tools are needed. This simple separation allows users to swap out entire upper receivers. You can change to a different barrel length, a different caliber, or different sighting systems without altering the core function of the rifle. This modularity is a huge reason why people often compare the AR-15 platform to a set of building blocks. You can mix and match a vast array of components from different manufacturers. To customize the rifle for a specific purpose or just for personal preference, this adaptability is a key design characteristic that has allowed the AR-15 to evolve and remain relevant for decades. Let's talk briefly about the magazine, as it's a vital part of the system. The magazine is simply a spring-loaded box that holds the cartridges in a neat stack. When the rifle's internal parts, that bolt carrier group, move forward during the cycling process. A part of the bolt strips the topmost cartridge from the magazine and loads it into the chamber. As each round is stripped away, the spring inside the magazine pushes the remaining cartridges upward. So the next one is always in position, ready to be loaded when the last round from the magazine has been fired. A small catch inside the rifle engages with the bolt carrier group, stopping it from moving forward completely. This holds the action open, which serves as a clear visual and physical signal to the shooter that the magazine is empty and it is time to reload. Another key feature of the AR-15 is its use of lightweight materials. Historically, rifles were made almost entirely of wood and steel, which made them quite heavy. The AR-15's designer, Eugene Stoner, pioneered the use of modern materials. The rifle's lower receiver, the handguard, and the stock are often made from strong reinforced polymers, while the upper receiver and other components are typically made from lightweight aluminum alloys. This combination of strong yet light materials contributes significantly to the rifle's durability and ease of handling, all without adding unnecessary weight. Throughout all of this discussion, it's incredibly important to remember that proper training, responsible handling, and constant situational awareness are absolutely essential when dealing with any firearm. Understanding the mechanics of how a rifle works is valuable not just for educational purposes, but for promoting safety and enabling informed, intelligent discussion. So, let's quickly recap the entire cycle in simple terms one more time. First, the trigger is pulled, which releases a hammer to strike the cartridge. Second, the cartridge ignites, creating gas that pushes the bullet down the barrel. Third, a small amount of that gas is rerouted backward to power the internal mechanism. Fourth, this mechanism moves back, extracting and ejecting the old, empty casing. Fifth, a spring then pushes the mechanism forward again. And sixth, as it moves forward, it picks up a new cartridge from the magazine, loads it into the chamber, and locks, making the rifle ready to fire again. This smooth, self-repeating cycle is the core of what makes the AR-15 function as a semi-automatic firearm. And that's the basic overview. The AR-15's design is an elegant combination of efficiency, modularity, and practicality. These qualities help explain its long-lasting popularity and its widespread presence in many different roles, from sports shooting and hobby use to historical and technical study. Its influence on modern firearm design is undeniable. If you found this explanation helpful and interesting, consider exploring more videos that break down other technologies, tools, and mechanisms we encounter in our world, or understanding how things work, from the simplest tool to the most complex machine, helps us all engage with them more thoughtfully and safely. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.